Hello friends, it's Danny here of Danny's Dreams. Today I am stopping by for a super quick video on alcohol markers. I am not an expert by a long shot, but when I thought about doing this video, I looked it up and I have been using Copic markers for over 14 years. I took 8 years to collect them all, but I do have them all. Now I'm working on the refills. I've tried several different kinds throughout the years of alcohol markers and so on. What prompted this video is that I've had several people reach out to me asking, is this marker a good marker, or what would you recommend, and so on. So I thought I would just do a quick video. Not going to be the most interesting probably to look at, but hopefully it will explain a few things. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section and I'll see what I can find. Like I said, I have been coloring with Copic markers for about 14 years now. I didn't have them all at once. Lots of learning took place. I've taken many online classes. Some of my favorites were Kitten Clowder, and then I did a class with the online classes. I think it's Kathy Rascoon. I don't know how to say her last name. She used to do the 30-day coloring challenge. I had a very interesting Copic journey, I would say, because many times I felt I wasn't good enough, and so I just wouldn't try. And then it kind of clicked that I just wanted to color. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to do it for me. And so I stopped worrying about all the shading and where does the sun go and where does the light source, and oh my goodness. So once I did that, I have the best time coloring. I love seeing images come to life, and I feel I'm still growing. I think we're always growing as artists. In the description box below, I will link to where I buy my Copics now and refills. It's not the cheapest, but their customer service is absolutely amazing. It's the Merry Artist, and like sometimes I get a shipping notice within an hour of placing my order. Love them. So moving on. The question I get sometimes, and I thought about it for myself, is why did I start with alcohol markers? Well, these are some great markers. They're Stampin' Right markers. I love them. I have almost all of them. I did not buy them this year. I don't know. My full set syndrome is kind of having issues with that, but they work great. But when you color with them, you will be able, since they're water-based, you can see the lines. And that just drove me crazy. So when I switched to alcohol markers, I like that. I mean, you can still see the lines. It's not perfect by any means, but as you use them, they're not as, I guess, prominent. And that's a really horrible example, but they're not as prominent as the other ones, and you can work on it more. Paper makes a huge difference too. This is some cheap paper, but that's why I started with alcohol markers, is that I didn't want those lines to show. As the years have gone on, there have been tons and tons of different brands of alcohol markers on the market. I've tried a few. When I tried them years ago, I was not a fan of other kinds, but then again, I also use primarily Copic, so I think it's just a matter of preference in the end. These days, I think they're all probably pretty comparable. I think it's just like the tips, whether, you know, how you want the tip to be and whether they're refillable. For me, markers that are not refillable, if I was using them primarily, would not work because I color so much. I have to have refillable. If you just are an occasional color, buy whatever you want. Lately, I have been kind of adding to my Copic marker coloring. I've been using the Arteza Everblend art markers. I have a set of these like in skin tones. So I've been adding to my coloring, just adding touches of this because they have a little bit of difference than what I can achieve with Copic sometimes. And then I have recently started using the stamping blends, And the reason I like this is that I have all the Stampin' Up! Inks and cardstock and a lot of like the designer series paper and stuff. And I like that I can color and it will match everything else. So I do like that. Again, everything comes down to your preference, whether it's refillable, and your paper. If you use cheap paper, you're going to get cheap results. That's just the way it is. I mean, you can make it look decent, but for me, I've tried tons out there. There's tons that I liked. Some was okay. My favorite at the moment is Catherine Pooler cardstock. I absolutely love how my alcohol markers blend on it, and it doesn't seem to gunk up my markers like some of the other ones. Another thing that a friend pointed out, Crafty Al, the Copic markers have the numbering system on them that makes the most sense. I know that this is in the red family. This is the lighter, the mid-tone, and the darkest. These Artezas, their numbering, I haven't been able to figure it out. To be honest, I haven't really researched it, and I don't have any others at the moment to really compare to, but I do like the numbering system on the Copics. So I guess to make a long story short, if you're considering alcohol markers, I would consider how much do you color, what style would you like? Like this barrel, I don't think I could color a lot with it because of that triangle. It's just not what's comfortable for me. But then again, I've been using Copics for 14 years. So these square ones don't bother me as much. This one, like I said, but maybe you want to do like me and add it all together. I've also been adding colored pencils. I even bought some Crayola skin tone pencils. So I think in the end, it all boils down to what results you want. There's some great markers out there. Some are more expensive, some are cheaper. I think the quality is probably about the same, but like I said, it just comes down to your preference, what kind of tip you like, whether you like the brush like that, or a brush like that, or that like point. I mean, everyone has a difference. This has like that chisel tip, and then it also has like a point. So those would be the things that I would take into consideration if you're considering buying some alcohol markers. I hope this helps a little bit. I know it wasn't the most exciting video ever, but I wanted to put it out there because I have been getting asked those questions lately. And if you think of any other questions, I can try to find an answer for you. Like I said, I am not an expert, just someone who likes to color. Thanks for stopping by and have a great day.